Hello everyone, I have a new package that arrived today. Let's open it up and see what is inside. And this product is from the company Nurzviy. Let's open it up and check it out. Inside we have a user manual. This covers the product information, detailed specs, safety instructions, installation and charging, app functions, and the LED indicator. On the back, we have information on the company along with the warranty information. Inside, we have the EVSE. It's inside a plastic bag. Let's move it out of the way. We also have a box here. Inside this, we have some hardware, screws, and we also have some RFID cards for activating the EVSE. Let's put those aside. We also have a wall bracket, pretty thick metal. Let me take all of this out so we get a closer look. Here's a look at the front of the EVSE. There's a protective plastic covering on the front. I'm going to leave that on for the time being. There is a NEMA 1450 plug that will provide a max of 40 amps out of the 50 amps that this outlet provides. Very thick cable attached to the base. Also coming out of the base, we have the charge cable itself. Let me loosen the plastic here. And get the plug out. All right, here is the J1772 handle with the connectors at the end. A waterproof, dustproof cap, which I always like to see included with these. There is a button here so that you can attach and detach it. This appears, not sure why there's this plastic thing. Oh wait, here it is. I guess this can be removed. Now we have full access to the button, and this is an entirely metal piece that goes from this end to this end. Got the branding Nurzviy on here. It's kind of hard plastic. There's no soft rubberized on here. What else do we have? We have a little bit information. We have a little QR code there. And then let's look at the cable itself. Usually you get some nice information here. So we see that there is 8-gauge wiring for the two power leads, along with a 10-gauge for the ground and 16-gauge for the communication line, rated at 600 volts, 105 C. Other information, a VW1, NiStar, and that's about it. Then it just repeats the information here. I'm going to measure the length of the cable in a little bit. This is what I was talking about. On the back, we have these bolts that will hold on to this bracket like that. This will get mounted to a wall where you'd put in these 3 screws. I'm going to do a slightly different method since I have a Slatwall system. I'm going to attach it to a universal adapter and then hang that on the wall, and I'll show you how that works. Let's look on the side here. We have some more information. It's the model EVHome 40 amp. Gives operating temperature of -22 Fahrenheit to 122 Fahrenheit, which is -30 C to +50 C. Input AC power is 208 to 240 volts AC. 208 is usually what you see for commercial, and 240 is what you see for residential. And that's for L1, L2 charging. Rated frequency 60 Hertz, rated output current 40 amps. And that's about it on this side. On the front, we have the RFID sensor. So if you set this up in the software to be able to turn it on and off with this, you could use that right there. This is handy if you want to install this in a, for example, parking garage or an apartment complex. You can give these RFID cards out to the people that are paying for it, and they'll have access to the system. So that's a pretty nice feature. And here's the information on the back of that card. By the way, I found out that the button on the side is the emergency stop button. So you'd press that if you need to stop charging. And that's it. I don't see any other buttons on the unit itself. So we have a storage area here for the handle. You would just take the handle and it will snap into place. This is very handy if you want to store the unit and have the cable either around the unit itself or on a hook, and then you don't need to buy a separate mount for the wall to hold the handle. The handle is right here. So that's a nice feature to have. And you just need to press the button and it comes right out. Let's measure the length of the pigtail from the unit itself to here. It is 22¼ inches long. Let me do the diameter of the cables, and we get 20 millimeters in diameter, or 0.78 inches for the pigtail. Let me see if it's the same. And we get slightly wider, 21 millimeters in diameter, or 0.82 inches for the charging cable. Now let's look at the length of the charging cable, starting at where it meets the main box, going all the way out. And we are at 24 feet to the edge of the handle. For installation on a wall, you would mount it so that it would be in this direction, and you would drill in 3 holes here. And if you had studs behind here, you could use just the screws itself. But if you have drywall behind it, you would use these yellow anchors here, and that's what the screws would screw into and provide a strong surface for this to hang off of. So if I had a regular drywall, yes, I would drill these three holes right here, insert these, and then put the screws in. But since I'm not doing that, since I have a slat wall, I'm going to be using this adapter here, which is designed for TVs or anything that needs to be hung on the wall of this slat wall here. So I'm going to do a slightly different version of this where I will have 2 screw holes up here, and this will attach like this. Here's the slat wall, and we're going to insert the mount like so. It has clips on the bottom that allow it to be locked into place. I'm going to leave them loose because then I can adjust this for best fit. Now I can take the EVSE base and then attach it. We're going to put these screws here. These 4 screws are going to match up with these 4 openings right here. And then when they, I let them slide down, they'll be captured in these openings and it will be snug. So let me do that right now. Let me line that up. And here you can see it is in the opening. Pull down on it, locks into place. Now we have the pigtail, and this is going to be attached to the NEMA 1450 outlet right here. And I have the perfect distance. Now we have the cord itself. I usually keep it on like a hook like this that's next to it. And then I can just insert this right here. It'll lock into place. Or if you don't, you can always take this out and just have it hanging on the hook, for example, like this. So it's up to you. How do you want to set up your mounting station and how you want to use it. And here we have the final installation of the Nurzviy EVSE with the wall mount on the slat wall. We have the pigtail with the NEMA 1450 outlet connected on the left. And then the other cord coming out from the bottom is the charging cable with the charging plug and handle right here, all ready for use. Now I have turned on the outlet and you can see that there's now a green LED ring around the charge port holder. I can bring that a little bit closer so you can see it. Here's a close-up view of the glowing green on the LED. When you have the EVSE mounted, you can remove the protective plastic film that's on the front of the case. So just take a corner of it and then you can just peel it off. All right, so we start with the app. If you want to add the EVSE to it, you would press the plus button to add a device. You can choose Wi-Fi setup or Bluetooth setup. That's your choice. I find the Bluetooth setup is good if you're within 30 feet or so of the EVSE. If you're further away, for example, in my house, I'm about 100 feet away from the EVSE in the garage. And Wi-Fi is a better choice because I can be in my house and check the status of the app. If the car is charging, Wi-Fi seems to be a better way of doing that. Right now, I have it with the Bluetooth connection. And you just press on here and it will connect to the charger. And you saw the little green flashing light showing it was connecting. Now you have the summary page here that shows the status of the EVSE. Right now it's not charging, but if you plug it in, then you can press the start charging button if you wish. Then it will show all the statistics of the charging information down below. If you want to change from Bluetooth to Wi-Fi, you can go into settings and then just switch right here where it shows connect type. And I will switch that over and it gives you a little message saying that it's going to change the method. And now it shows a different symbol. It shows the Wi-Fi symbol on the EVSE. When you're hooking up to your Wi-Fi, you'll give your Wi-Fi SSID along with your password. I tend to use the guest SSID on my router so that it doesn't have free access to my whole network. That's up to you. And then press the button there and it connects to the EV charger. You can see it going right there. And just like with Bluetooth, it shows all your information right here. And when you start charging, it'll populate. So that's basically it for choosing if you want Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. It's your choice on how you want to connect to the system. And let's see what else we have. If you click on the record, this shows a history of all the charging sessions that the EVSE has done with your vehicle. One thing I'd like to see is it doesn't seem to show very much information. It shows start time and charging capacity, but I'd really like it to show the kilowatt hours that were used while charging, and possibly even the max kilowatts too would be nice to have. So maybe in a future update they can add this information to the app. And what else do we have here? There's a home button, which just basically brings you back to where you were. If you click the arrow up here, it goes back to the home page where it shows the EVSE, the last time it was charged, the current status, showing that it's unplugged. So there you go. So you would just press this again if you want to get that information again. All right, so that's about it for the app. Here I have my Tesla Model 3. I pulled into the garage and the charge port is right here. So if I want to use the EVSE with it, I take the J1772 handle and I need to attach a Tesla adapter. These come with all Teslas. So I will attach that to the end. It snaps into place. Then I press the charge port cover. I give it a little extra cord here. Then I just insert it in. And if you have the EVSE set to RFID mode, you need to take the card and press it on the unit. Then it starts with the blue light circling. And now it is charging. You can see the green Tesla emblem there is flashing. Let's go inside and look. And we see that we have 10 kilowatts, 40 amps, 239 volts. So we're getting the maximum amount out of this EVSE since it's connected to a NEMA 1450 outlet, which provides 40 amps out of the 50. And there we go, we are charging. When you're done charging, you can either press stop on the screen display or you can just press the button right here. So let me try that out. And then it will pull out. Then you can just put it back on here and we're done with the charging. Now let's look at another method of access. There is the RFID card that you would press right here. So let's touch it. And that indicates that it is now charging. Notice that the light is green on the car. Let's go inside and see. And we are charging at 5.9 kilowatts. I have it set for max charge of 80%. And of course, the Fisker Ocean has a max current of 32 amps. So that's as high as the EVSE will provide to the car. And if you want to stop charging, just take the RFID card and touch right here. And charging has stopped. You know, the blinking green light now. So you can remove the handle and we are good. So the spinning LED means that it is charging. If you want to stop charging, you can just press the button on the EVSE and remove it. Note that the LED changes to green. If I put it back in again, let's see what it does. Yeah, so it'll stay in the off position until you use the RFID card again to turn it back on. Let me test that here. Yeah. As you can see on the app, the plug and play is switched to off. So if I try to plug it in right now, let's see what it does. There is a flashing green light, which means the car is ready, but this is not going to charge. So what we'll do is in the app, we'll change this to on. Give it a few seconds. And now notice it is charging. So if I try it again, with plug and play set to on, it should automatically just go straight to charging. And yes, it does. Solid green light means it's charging. You can set plug and play on and or off depending on how you like to have your settings. And that's about it for charging. One nice thing about having a cord that is 24 feet long is that it can stretch all the way across the width of the garage to the EVSE on the wall. So in conclusion, I think this is a really nice EVSE, a thick and long 24-foot cable. I really like the handle with the metal clasp on it. I also like the app that you can use. You can connect with Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. I noticed that if you do have any problems connecting with the unit, you may need to unplug it or turn off the breaker and then turn it back on. It sometimes can take a little while for the initial registration of it to work, and then you'll have access on your phone using the app, using either Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. I think it's a really nice unit, and if you're interested in purchasing this, I have the link in the video description.
Don't forget to use code RANGER for 5% off your purchase.
If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.